Hi, and thank you for joining me for this video. So this tent has some great features and in my opinion is one of the best budget 3-season tents on the market. But is this tent for you? Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know so you can decide if this OneTigris Cosmitto 2.0 tent is the right one for you. So everything you get comes in a well-made drawstring storage bag. It's got a grab handle on the end. It's got the company logo on the front. When it comes to the size of the storage bag, the length comes in at around 52 centimeters and the width comes in at around 17 centimeters. The packed weight comes in at around 2.3 kilograms. Right, let's get everything out the storage bag and see what we get inside. So first of all, on the inside of your storage bag, you will get some instructions to help you pitch this tent correctly. Everything then is rolled and tied up with these nylon straps. You then get your main tent, you then get your outer flyer, you then get one main tent pole, which is made out of aluminium, which comes in a storage bag. You then get your ground pegs, which come in their own storage bag, and then you get some nylon guy lines. Now, you don't get a footprint with this tent, but you can buy a footprint from OneTigris, which is compatible with this tent, and it costs around £20 to £25 here in the UK. Right, let's get this tent pitched and see what we think. So when it comes to pitching this tent, what I would do first, if you've got one, is lay out your footprint. Then lay out your inner tent and then simply go around and peg out all of the corners. The next step is just to connect your main pole system together and then just slowly connect it to each corner of the tent. This is nice and simple because the corners of this main pole just push straight in to the little eyelets in each of the corners. The next thing to start doing is connecting the inner tent to the main tent pole. Now with your main pole system, you will also get a spreader pole, which simply connects across the top of your tent. You will find on each side at the top a couple of little pockets where you just slide each end of the pole into. Put it in one end of the pocket and then put it across the top of your tent and simply connect it to the other side. What you want to do then to ensure that your spreader pole stays in place, take this clip which is right at the top of your tent and simply just connect it right over your spreader pole. So the next thing to do is to put on your outer fly, and this is really, really easy. All you do is put your outer fly over your tent, and then to connect it to the corners of the inner tent, you've got these buckles, so it makes life really easy. When you've connected all the corners, you can then just go around and adjust them accordingly. And finally, when you've connected and pegged out all your guy lines and adjusted them accordingly, the last thing to do is each side of this tent, there are a couple of little loops which need pegging out. This is going to create a nice little gap, which is going to help with some airflow. So when it comes to pitching this tent, it's going to take you around 8 to 10 minutes to pitch, so it's not too bad. Now this tent is a semi-freestanding tent because you do have to peg out the doors. This tent is also an inner pitch first, and I know for some people they don't like inner pitch tents because there is a chance of, if it's raining when you're pitching this tent, your inner tent might get a little wet. For me, it's not a deal breaker. What I look at is that with an inner pitch first tent, in the warmer times of the year when it's not going to rain, you can simply just use your inner tent. You can have a fantastic camp under the night sky with all the mesh around you inside. You're going to get max airflow and it's going to help keep those insects out. Now, what I really like with this tent is it has 2 outer doors, it has 2 vestibules and 2 inner doors. So whatever I show you this side is exactly the same on the other. Now this tent does have a couple of air vents. It has one this side and one the other. I will show you that air vent, but also as it's a 3-season tent, the outer fly doesn't completely go down to the ground, so you do have a small gap which is going to help let in a nice bit of airflow. So first impressions of this tent, I really like the look of this tent. Now, currently here in the UK, this tent sells for between 120 and £130. It comes in a choice of 2 colours. I've gone for it in this coyote brown, but it also comes in a wolf grey, and I have to say both colours look amazing. Now this tent is classed as a 3-season tent. However, personally, I think if you've got a really nice warm sleep system and perhaps you're a warmer sleeper, you could use this tent in the early part of winter as well. So you could then use this tent in the spring, the summer, the autumn, and early winter. Now, when it comes to the vents on this tent, and don't forget, there's one each side on the doors, what you have to do is simply open the top here and you will find a little bar which is Velcro down. You simply undo that, Velcro it to the other part of Velcro on your tent, and then this tent has 2 zips on the doors. You've got one at the bottom to simply undo and open your doors, but you also have another one at the top which you can pull down, and that's going to create a nice little opening to encourage a nice little bit of airflow. And obviously with the airflow coming into this tent, it's going to help reduce any condensation. Now, when it comes to the fabric on the outer fly of this tent, this is made from a 20 denier played ripstop polyester, and it has a hydrostatic head rating of 2000 millimeters. Now, this tent, all the fabric on this tent is double stitched and it's tape sealed, so it is completely waterproof. Now, when it comes to the outer doors, the zips on the outer doors are covered by a storm flap. They also have some Velcro on them, so if the wind picks up, you're not going to get these storm flaps flapping around. Now, all the zips on this tent are made from YKK, so they are very durable anti-snag zips. Now, when it comes to the outer doors on this tent, you can simply roll and toggle one side back, leaving the other side down, and that's going to create a nice little bit of vestibule for you. Or you can simply roll and toggle both of them back, giving you a really nice size entrance. Now, as you can see by the vestibule, it's not the biggest. It's going to be okay to store some stuff, and it's going to help protect you from the elements, but definitely not big enough to cook in, which is a bit of a shame. But as I always say, some vestibule is better than no vestibule. Now, just a word on the outer door. When it's fully opened, it's not very high, so you do have to bend down a fair bit to get in this tent when the sides are down. But when both the doors are fully toggled back, it does make it just a little bit easier. So that would have been nice if the height of the doors was just a little bit higher. Right, having a look at the inside of the tent, which is predominantly mesh. This is made from a 40 denier polyester. Now, with all this mesh, it's going to give you great airflow, which in turn is going to help reduce any condensation, but it's also going to help keep any insects out. On the inside of the tent, on each of the corners, you can see these little panels. They are designed to help against any of the rain coming down, which might then, with the rain hitting the ground, sometimes it splashes up, and so it just protects the inner tent a bit. Those are what those are designed for. When it comes to the bathtub style floor, this is made from a 70 denier polyester, and this too is double stitched and tape sealed, so completely waterproof. Right, now another thing to mention, with the inner door, it is an upside down T door opening, which is fantastic, because when the inner door is opened up, it really does make it much easier to get in and out. So I've opened all the doors up so you can see what a nice size entrance you get to this tent. Now, when it comes to the inner size of this tent, the length comes in at 210 centimeters and the width comes in at 130 centimeters. The height of the tent comes in at 110 centimeters. Now, this is classed as a 2-person tent, and it's not a bad size 2-person tent. But as per usual, with most 2-person tents, you could get 2 people in, but it'd be a bit of a squeeze. but it'd be really comfortable for one person. Now, inside the tent, you get plenty of storage. You get a big storage pocket across the one side, and then you get another storage pocket the same size on the other. You also then, on the ceiling, get a lamp hook, but also in the corners of the tent, you get these very small little nylon loops, and those are designed so you can just thread a line through. Now, with all the mesh in this tent, it's going to give you a nice bit of airflow. It's going to help then reduce any condensation, but also help keep any insects out. So yeah, a really nice size for 2 people, but ideal for 1 person. So my final thoughts on this tent. Well, considering you get so many great features in this tent, and the fact that it costs under £130 here in the UK, I think it's a fantastic deal. And I highly recommend you have a look at this tent. I mean, quite simply put, this tent is well made, it's easy to pitch, it is spacious, it's comfortable, and as I say, it's definitely worth the money. So in saying that, is it perfect? No, it's not. But then again, what tent is? But let me know what you think about this tent. Is this tent the one for you? I will leave a link in the description below so you can go and have a good look at this tent in more depth, so you can make an informed decision whether this is the right tent for you. But in saying all that, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And lastly, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. But thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.